Talking about philanthropy, I know you do quite a bit, and you have an orphanage. Tell us about that.
Kids are the homeless, the widows, the unfortunate ones are my heart. I mean, if I'm working with you in Africa, make sure you don't have any cash on you. Because when I finish mine, I'll dip my hands in yours and yours. It has to go out because it could have been us.
Yeah.
You know, those kids you're seeing, it's not their fault. Destiny is so not fair sometimes. They say life doesn't give you what you deserve, it gives you what you fight for. That's you know. So what I've done, and it's a very religious exercise for me, is every birthday of mine. What gives me fulfillment is spending time with the orphans. I mean, if you give me party, I won't turn up. I don't do birthday parties. What's the point? Drinking and having fun and dancing, or someone is seriously ill, or someone. I mean, I've been doing that religiously, going, cutting my cake with these offers. It's on the internet. I mean, it's a beautiful feeling, and their prayers mean a lot to me. When they say God bless you. Last year I was at the leprosarium. I mean, and the beautiful thing is that these healed lepers were cutting cake with me and eating, and they were singing. Yeah,
it gave you so much joy.
And they were like, God bless you. And if healed lepers are praying for you, I mean, cash donation, that's what means a lot
to you.
So
where is Dwelling Place?
That Dwelling Place, we've started building a project in Sawam, Ghana, but we don't limit ourselves in Ghana. Just tell us a place, tell us this school needs this, and whatever concert we do, we send the money there. Just from anywhere in Africa, we will send someone there. Sonnie Badu Ministries is doing this because if Jesus was here, he would perform a miracle. So the miracle in us is doing what with the little, absolutely. And from what God has done for me, I don't deserve to be blessed this way. So this is my way of saying thank you to him.
That's great. That's great. And I'm itching to ask. Tell me about your hair.
My hair. First of all, do you like it or you don't like it?
Can I plead the Fifth Amendment?
No, you don't want
You're not.
You can't do that.
My fans will be so offended.
Yes.
Well, no, I just want to know about it. I just want to know why it's. I mean.
Okay, I'll tell you the secret.
She's talking about the hair, guys. She's talking about the hair. She really wants to know what it is.
I'll tell you.
We'll hear from Sonnie.
I used to do this short cut thing. But it kept on, my hair grows really quick. Now I've been in America for 6 weeks. I don't, and it's not every barber that you can, because they can just give you a razor bump and all of that. So I need to go back to my barber. Like now, from here, I'm off to Paris. From Paris, in London for an awards, and then from there back here for another 6 weeks, different states. By the time you finish, your hair's just grows.
So it's going to be like here by the time you get back home.
Listen, I can even tie it back, but it's very healthy, and I look after it. But apparently, and my hair is naturally curly. Well, you can hold it.
Go on, Valerie. Go on, Valerie.
See how my hair looks?
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah,
now you're making me blush.
So it's not, you know, and I didn't. I just thought, you know, I don't have. That's why sometimes I go very scruffy, but I like the scruffy look because with what I do, it's very intense. I don't want to come out with a clean cut, you know, holier than thou kind of look. I appeal to the youth as well, so I want you to feel just as you are. God needs you. So if you're like this, you know, and you're funky like this, and look at what you're doing. I mean, in Minnesota, a young guy came and said, "I want to see God." You know, because of what, you know, and it's about time we stop letting them feel you've got to be all clean, suited, and look good. You know, if it comes to looking good, trust me, I know how to look good. Sorry.
It's okay, but I can tell you that I like it.
But, you know, but one time, I was getting tired of it and I cut it. Over 600 fans of mine in Facebook were offended.
That you cut your hair.
Why did you cut your hair?
Okay.
Why did you cut your hair?
Okay.
I said because I wanted to look young, and I wanted. They said what? We don't know the Sonnie Badu anymore. Where is Sonnie Badu?
Didn't you consider
So
us
do
when you
you
were
know
cutting
what
your
I did?
hair?
I was actually looking in the mirror waiting for it to grow. So sometimes I do cut it down to go, but give me a week, it'll grow back up again. So I do trim it, and then my barber is like, and my barber tells me what look he wants to give me. So when I go, I'm like, do you want to cut it down? He's like, no, let me leave it this way, leave it to grow. Let's see what, you know. And I'm enjoying it actually. I like looking after my hair, so I shampoo it. And number 3, if you have very soft hair like mine, the chances that you go bald is high, because it's soft, so it's very feeble, and so cutting it down every time, you'll get to a time it can't grow.
Oh.
Yeah, I know that very well. So
That's
I just
interesting.
leave it to. Oh yeah. The reason why sometimes some of it is hereditary, but some of it is not. Men don't look after their hair. Men always.
It's just not something
they put the
that
lather
they do.
and,
Yeah.
and the sponge just do
Yeah,
that. They don't cream their hair, and so the scalp gets dried up, and it's like the ground. If you don't
you
till
don't
it,
take
if you
care
don't
of it.
look, that's the same
That's
thing
true.
with the
Yeah,
hair.
that's
So
very, yeah.
I have several reasons why I don't cut it, because I need it to be healthy. That's why I don't want to go bald. I can't stand to go bald. So
You talked about this is taking us on a different ship, but you talked about your hair being hereditary. I just want to ask: is that dad on the Adonai?
No, that's not
That's
my
not
dad.
dad,
No,
okay.
that's a Pastor Reverend Eduse.
Okay.
Dad, but dad had even at this age, he's going bald a bit, but you can still see the curly. I mean, my mom used to plait his hair for him.
Wow.
Dad's hair was so much. Mom was like, "Hey, when your father was in his heydays,
Okay.
his hair was all over, you know." And they had the afro. They were
Yeah, they had
coming
the
to
afro,
have
exactly.
Afro. So I'm thinking, why can't we do afro too? Old school,
coming back.
you have to have
It's
the
coming
afro.
back.
So I
It's
think I'm
coming
bringing
back.
it back. The
I
whole
like
afro.
it. I like it.
So that's.
Are you satisfied,
And you have
Valerie?
people there?
Yes, I am. But I have
Okay.
another question for you, though, about the accolades. You know, like when you're worshiping, you use a lot of accolades. I want you to tell us a bit about that, especially what it means in Africa and
Right.
who we do it for
Right.
and why you're now doing it for God. Just
I
wanna
get
know.
it from dad.
Okay.
Every Saturday at home, dad has his own altar. So, I mean, dad's prayer became a poem. Every accolade dad gives to God, we know it. We can close our eyes and tell you what he's going to tell God. And, you know, it's a beautiful thing. But I didn't realize it was going to be useful to me now. And knowing God, and researching worship and talking to him myself, he loves it when you tell him who he is. The man that walks on the sea. In my if I say it in English,
Go ahead.
it's like saying in Yoruba, Rabaribiti, Aribi Rabata. You know, it has no meaning. Eledumare Obala. You know, that kind of. It's deep. You know, it's just something else. I mean, my ministry is very strange because I've written songs in Yoruba.
And you don't even speak
I
the
don't
language.
even speak it. I've
right?
written songs in South African, Swahili. It's amazing, but it's because I'm very sensitive. One time I said I want to hear a song. I heard South African song, and I started singing, and a South African interpreted it for me. I mean, my new album coming out, you hear Nigerian songs that I wrote.
Wow.
Yeah. I sing it, but I don't. But it's His grace, and I would never take one credit. It's Him. He gave it to me.
Yes,
I can't even take one glory for myself. But
Talking about your ministry, you say in your own words, I'm not a preacher, I'm not a teacher, I'm a minister. What does that mean? And I want you to say something to the life of a young person
That's
who's
right.
looking up to you.
That's right. Well, titles are very deep, so I hate holding titles. And just call me Sonnie Badu and let my work speak for me. However, if you call your pastor, there's a certain responsibilities that come. It has its own demons that it carries. Oh yeah. And some people struggle for power, and I don't understand. You know, I'm pastor this, and you know, but it doesn't work. For me, it doesn't work that way. It's about reaching out to the people of God. It's about hearing the heartbeat of God and delivering what God is saying. That's ministry. And when you're doing that, you're ministering to God's people. So Minister Badu is ministering to you. He's ministering God's word. I mean, I'm not a teacher, but I tell him in my secret place, teach me how to worship you. So whatever he teaches, that's what I'm teaching you. Pastor, I mean, I've had musicians when if you don't call them by their minister, what they'll tell you, reintroduce me again. You need to call Bishop, Doctor, Apostle. When we go up there, we're not going with titles. We're going with our worship cymbals and harps, just to go and carry on and worship. So for me, I just call me Sonnie. Let's do it, you know. But when I finish, we know.
Nah,
And I hate to also limit myself because by His grace He's given me the prophetic ministry, the preaching ability, the teaching ability, all in one, the worship ability. You know, so minister does everything. The preacher ministers. The prophet ministers, the worship leader ministers. So it's
Minister
all
just covers everything.
That's really good that you're saying all that. But I also wanted to find out: is there a particular time in the day, or at a particular time in your life, when you find that you just birth out more songs, or you birth out more writing?
Well, unfortunately, you
happens?
can never talk about something without going through it. So some of the things you hear in the song is my life
Your
story.
life story.
Yeah, I'm like covenant keeping God. I was down out, like everything was, you know. And just as I was about to go into the studio, the bit "Your Name Is Jehovah" hadn't come yet. I was just gonna say covenant keeping God. There's no one like you. But when I took the earphones, God said, "Who am I?" And it said, "Start now." The keyboard started. And I started. Your name is. It was in the studio. I got that. But I was going through so much that I needed to tell him who he is, remind him who he was. You know, that kind of thing. So I didn't talk about my magazines, right? I've got.
You have that too. Tell us about that.
Magazine. It's funny, but what I say to people is, don't wait for people to do stuff for you. Do it yourself.
Do it yourself.
So where I am, I'm not getting enough people interviewing me in magazines. God said, then do your own. So okay, let's call it I Worship, and it's out. I mean, it's everywhere. Yeah, I mean, I'm
print
I'm like
or
print it out. It's out. We've run out. They bought it all in Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it has all my concerts, life story, my charity projects, and some of the footballers that sponsors my ministry and everything. Yeah, so.
So is that like? Do you have a website? Before we go to what you're saying to the youth, do you have like a website people can go to?
Just Google Sonnie Badu. Everything about me will come out.
SonnieBadu.com, guys.
So tell us. I mean, what would you say to somebody who wants to be like you, wants to worship, wants to give it all to God?
Don't desire to be like me. Desire to be like what God has called you to be, because for every person there's a purpose. You've been created for a purpose.
Yes.
Because you're desiring to be like me, but you might not be able to have the ability to go through what I went through because you don't have the capacity to. So just ask God. In you there is something inside so strong that nobody has, and so you need to surround yourself with the right friends. Because when I wrote something, I'm writing a book on discovering your destiny. Rule number 1: you need the right friends around you. Because if you go into a classroom or if you go to a company of friends and you say, "Who's the talkative here?" They'll tell you, "Is this one? Is this one?" Your friends really know who you are. So if you get the right environment and the right friends, you'll be able to discover. And when you discover, you start working on it. You don't need to. You wouldn't see the big tree, the forest suddenly, but it turns. It grows, and eventually get better and better. So believe in yourself. If it doesn't work the first time, the second time, the third time, keep trying. Eventually it will work. And experience is always the best teacher. So stay cool. Jesus is so cool. He's the lover. He's the one that keeps better secrets than any other person. And he loves you, even though you don't love him. Sometimes he does, and then he sticks to his covenant. So yeah.
Awesome. You know what? Can I ask you to sing or something?
No, forgive me. I've been doing Friday, Saturday.
Hey, listen, guys. Sonnie has to go. But before he goes, we're going to hold him to that. We just thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Sonnie, for coming also.
Thank you.
Sing something out for us.
All right. I thought you were going to say
it on your side. No.
My voice is...
We'll help you sing it.
Oh, shit.
I'll tell you what I like, though.
Which one?
Your Name Is Jehovah.
You see that one? I need to... Give me microphone then. Covenant keeping God, there is no one like you. Alpha and Omega. See, you're singing it now, so carry it. No, let me do it.
No, I want to hear you. I'm sorry.
There is no one like you.